Game 112 of TPBL. The Formosa Dreamers are in town in the Windy City to play the Hsinchu Topless Lioneers. It is a game in their pink on Wednesday to start off their final homestand. And here they are now, behind the back pass over to Marich, going in deep for the lay-in off the glass. Bit rusty too, because he hasn't played for quite some time. His last game was March 29th. There's a shot, the long range two for Trey Tompkins. Still keeping the starting five on the court right now again. Lioneers burning clock with the sticky defense from the Dreamers, and there's the fadeaway. Marich way out to Liu Chenxun. Joker, 6 seconds on the clock, shaking off Randall Wacko, and in goes the three. Rest on the bench, Eric Holman checks into the game. There's a downhill drive, there's the opening for Marich, and the whistle comes for the and one. Hands of Lou. Ryan checked into the game, there's a steal, and here comes the finish by Oscar Cow. Okay. Start for the Formosa Dreamers. Marich hoping to get a foul call there.
Haji in the game for the first time. Holman finally hits a three.
Lunar New Year break, that shot pass gets intercepted, and Xiaoan coming through the gates, wall to wall, and there we go, finish off the glass.
Acceleration, nobody stops you.
Score now 16-9, here comes Holman. And keeping the bank open, he gets a bank shot after the timeout.
At some point, the Lioneers are going to have to switch up their defense a little bit. They've been staying in a zone this entire first quarter. Oscar Gao from the
this season. It wasn't a
assist. Turnovers.
It was turnovers. 10 turnovers to be exact.
That doesn't surprise me.
But again, player efficiency rating is off the charts, as this is only with one import on the court for the Lioneers. Marich is sitting out after the timeout. 4 seconds, that goes in and out and back in again.
You know, so now this falls on the coaching staff of the Dreamers. This wasn't necessarily part of their game plan when they were prepping for this game. You know, Pember out all of a sudden, a late decision. Good look there by Haji. Execution
there, and Zumboryu trying to buy a foul, no good. Off to the corner, in it goes for Liu Chenxun. Overall, the Dreamers have 22 wins, the Lioneers against the Dreamers, 18 wins. And from the parking lot, Oscar gets nothing but net. Trying to pull ahead in the first quarter alone. It's a higher scoring affair for the Lioneers compared to yesterday, but off the glass, trying to pick up his rebound, but back over to the Lioneers it goes.
Tompkins' 35-year-old body's working hard this game. Offensively as well in that mid-range. There's that screen you were talking about.
Yeah, there you go. Holman was there to stop the entry. Kiwi from the corner, shoots and he scores! Things must be soft on that side for the Lioneers.
That's 1 for 10 now for the Dreamers.
No look past Saitangong, keeping the bank open.
In the first quarter, pound it inside, and then maybe throw it back outside to get a cleaner look.
Unfortunately, they've been cold on the outside, only making one. Haji getting the start in the second quarter. Taking advantage of the mismatch in size. Benjamin Bentil with the bucket.
4 for 9 from free throws. It was just, you know, sometimes the team goes someplace, it's just the environment. You just don't play well.
Yeah, mind you, they did not make playoffs last year, but again, Zhang Shuren took the risk and gave him a whole season to really develop these players. And corner, Eric Holman trying to get the offense started, but with no avail. Here's Joker with the alley-oop attempt. Too short, but will take the shot. Holman, and that goes in and out. What a 100% effort there for Tai Tanga. Getting rewarded minutes in the second quarter. Eric Holman finally. Mind you, that was the first field goal made in this quarter. The first 2 points were made just from free throws alone. Eric Holman getting another.
That'll close out the season for them, right?
Certainly, yeah. Certainly boding well for them. Again, they've got the best home winning percentage amongst the 7 teams. And Lou buckets for the three. Yes! Drawn up perfect perfectly by Wassam El-Sous there.
Yeah, you can hear him saying the timeout. Same first play as the beginning of the game, working like a charm.
He's been hitting career and seasonal highs. Again, Lioneers still pulling ahead, 53-29. There's the skip pass to Marine Marich. So some Taiwan Pro Ball history right there. Eric Holman from the corner, dials in, gets the answer.
Where would the
Xiao Sui-Yi with a handoff to Joker. The team and back over to Lou Buckets from the wing, gets the three-piece and the sitting out due to a nasty sprain during the FIBA World Cup qualifiers back in late February. Eric Holman left with no choice but to get the jam. Back over with Oscar and the final touch. Just short, hitting the iron ring. Here comes Bento. Now Holman with the sledgehammer. The last possession, and here it's Zhang Zhongxian Jet swinging over to Xiaoan. Back to his fellow guard, no look pass, and Jet with the up and under. I've really been playing flat or shooting well as off the glass into the bank. Yotenshin forcing the bank open there. He now has 5 points on the board.
Yeah, he lined that one up perfectly. That was a beautiful shot.
Dreamers definitely needed that fadeaway.
Whereas if he just went up, he might have gotten fouled and make an easier shot for him. Back-to-back turnovers for the Lioneers.
As off of a poor pass, and here is Zhang Zhongxian, back-to-back buckets. And Randall Waffle is the only player on the court to have 0 points onto the board, and here comes Trey Tompkins hanging off the hoop, and Wassam of April.
That's definitely good news for the Italian Leopards, and good news for the fans.
Yeah, I like the intimacy and how small the arena is at their temporary. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Bento. Not in the right position. He pulls up for the 2. Throws it in the first quarter, but then kind of, just like everybody else, he just went cold and continued to stay cold in the second as that rattles in for Liu Tenshin. Out to the perimeter to Zhang Zhongxian Jet.
That's a good open look.
Wide open for Zhang Yu, and can't leave him open like that. Here's the alley-oop for Trey Tompkins. Too short though, and that was too strong of the arc. And Eric Holman with the gun show, and there's a turnover and touchdown made. As the Dreamers are only behind by 2 field goals now. Here is Joker coming in deep, not joking around. G on the court. Looks like Benjamin Bento off screen is going to get ready to sub back in.
The Lioneers have still stayed in that zone.
So overall from the field, the Lioneers in this quarter, 17% only. And again, taking advantage of the mismatch in size, Benjamin Bento.
Until they got something open in the middle.
Oscar Gao with the finish floater. No look pass. Not a lot of entry allowed. There's the opening.
Goaltender.
Basket no goaltender. 48 seconds remain on the clock. Score 75-68. And Ryan for the 3 gets a split. Letting the ball roll delay in the start of the clock. 6 seconds remain, and here's Randall Walker, pulls the trigger, and boom! Goes the dynamite.
Wow.
Oscar Gao unable to get the 3 from the wing. Uncontested, Xiaoan will get the answer from up top. 7 from out on the perimeter in the third quarter, and I was mentioning that the bench players that have been old faithfuls in the last 3 games, as Trey Tompkins gets the tray. Rubbing salt in that wound, really.
I mean,
what else can we say? They got a 7-point lead now.
And from a 27-point deficit, it's got to be some kind of record. Going through the peaks and valleys. Now the last 4 minutes, you just grind it out.
So very similar to yesterday's matchup against the Leopards. Trey with another 3! After our short break.
So the Lineers go back into a 1-3-1. Don't matter.
Don't matter, Jet.
Final stats here.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, equilibrium finally hit Dreamers. They hit 46% from the field. Lineers